All right, it is Reusse Unchained here, presented today by Josh Arnold Investments, Mr. Money Talk. Pat, the Timberwolves, it took them 2 months to lose back-to-back games, and they finally did last night.
Yes, and boy, they did it decisively, too. They were never in that game. Zion started taking the ball to the basket in the first 5 minutes. They couldn't do anything about it, and they were terrible. This has been coming on, though, but Pinchy and I have been on the same page because after they beat the Lakers, I was throughout that entire Laker game, I was saying how rotten they played and how that they were just completely selfish and idiotic and made a lot of stupid moves and ended up winning. But he traced it. The game before Christmas was when they started their last good game is what he said. And this is heresy, but I'm down on the Ant-Man. I'm down on Ant deciding he's got to take all the shots, and when he gets the ball, never give it up. And I think he's got somebody whispered in his ear that this is your team and go get your 40 and blah, blah, blah. I think Connolly, even when Connolly's out there now, he can't control him. Connolly can't. He's out of control in my opinion, and I don't know how they reel him back in, but he obviously wants to be an all-star and wants to be one of the elite guys in the league, and meanwhile he's not helping his team at all. Everybody's down on Cat, but with no emphasis on him, it's hard to score points when nobody's emphasizing you to get you the ball. So. Who else is kind of what didn't work last night and hasn't worked for about a week is Rudy too. They're kind of like the lob to Rudy isn't there now anymore. So I don't know what's going on, but it's been pretty unimpressive basketball for 2 weeks.
The Pelicans spent all night last night basically just like intercepting lob passes to Rudy.
Yeah.
So I think like there's going to be lulls, but we're trying to figure out, okay, is this just a lull and they're going to get over it in a couple weeks, or did other teams find some things? Anthony Edwards is putting up the best numbers he's ever put up over the last few weeks. He's getting to the line more often, but is it at the expense of making the entire operation more of a free flowing thing?
That's my opinion. Is it's all? I mean, his quotes after that Laker game were, I was going to shoot every time I got the ball. You saw those quotes, right? That, I just decided that when the game started, I was going to shoot every time I got the ball. And he did. And he's getting his points, but I don't know. We're not playing team basketball. And slower than molasses has got to start playing about 4 minutes a game until he gets his act together. Slow-mo, that means molasses. That's what the mo is now, is slower than molasses. God, he's terrible. He's terrible. He can't make a 2-footer. And they give him 7 steps. He's got as I said the other day, he's got the Euro-Asian step. They let him take 4 steps, and he gets 4 feet from the basket, and he shoots an air ball. He's terrible. What has happened to him? He's brutal.
Yeah.
And, okay, I was thinking last night, though, it's like a baseball team having a lousy 4-game series, right? But because it's an 82-game season, but they, I had them as a 5 seed after about 3 days ago. I said a 5 seed. I dropped them to 6 last night, though. I got them as a 6 seed now. New Orleans.
That feels like a little bit of an overreaction.
That's my job to panic like that, Royce. You don't take
I'm not saying they're going to be the 1 seed, but to drop to 6 after a couple bad games, I don't know.
Okay, 2 OKC and Denver for sure, right? Then you got Phoenix, the Clippers, New Orleans, and Sacramento, who are all maybe just as good as you. So, they can. I don't know. They gotta get their act together. That's for sure.
Yeah, but they've also built up. That's the thing. Like they're gonna. This is the hardest part of their schedule.
Yeah.
By winning all those games early. By the way, I agree. I think at the end of the season, who's the better team? Denver's better. I think Oklahoma City is ridiculous. But by building up this big lead, that they get the other teams are going to go through lulls too. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, it's I think I think Coach Finch is a little nervous though too. I'm not the only one nervous. I think Coach Finch is nervous too, the way they're playing. So, and Connolly, we all love him, but 35 a game for that guy is last night they only played him 26, but they gotta let McLaughlin start playing 10 minutes a night, I think, just to make Connolly get to the finish line here. So
yeah, they are really thin, and the fact that like Shake Milton is out of the rotation and Troy Brown Jr. is kind of it depends on the night. They're for a while here, the last couple weeks, they've been playing an 8-man rotation with a little bit of a ninth guy for 5 minutes. So yeah, it's December.
It's almost Tibbs like, it's like, I've been noticed. I always notice Tibbs box scores, by the way. He's got this Fournier or whatever his name is. They're paying a lot of money. That guy never plays. 0 minutes. He's making, if you want a backup guard, unfortunately, he's making a lot of money, but he never plays. He just sits there on the bench looking at steam coming off his head because Tibbs will never use him. Last night, I looked again. He played 9 guys. That's it. The rest of you, hell with you. So, and Finch has kind of fallen into that too. He's been talking about it at his post-game press conference the other day. I was over there, but I'd like to get to 9 guys. I'd like to start using 9, but he says it's been 8.5 so far.
Yeah.
Kyle Anderson's killing him though. I mean, that's one of the guys you rely on, and he's unusable right now. He's brutal.
Yeah.
If I hear slow-mo once more, I'm going to puke. Let's just call him Kyle.
Well, okay. And also,
or what the hell's wrong with Kyle? Let's call him that.
But here's the thing. I'm going to defend Anthony. I think I agree with you that Anthony Edwards just deciding, hey, I'm just going to do more and just sort of hog the ball more. I don't know that that's the solution.
Yeah.
But I'm going to defend him and say, okay, if you're him and you're looking around the last 2 or 3 weeks,
yeah.
And when you're off the court, no one can score. When you're on the court, it's like you and sometimes Cat can score. But beyond those 2 guys, there's no one that can just generate a basket. So I don't blame him for looking around and saying, all right, well, I'm just going to shoot the ball 25 or 30 times. I'm going to get to the line 10 times, which I actually like. Get to the free throw line more often.
Yeah, I'm not, I'm just saying that this free-flowing thing that they had going has disappeared. And part of it is him saying, well, I better shoot here because nobody else can make a shot. One thing that's hurt him, the thing about Cat that is bad right now is he's not making his threes. He's your best 3-point shooter, and he's got the last 2 weeks he's got to be shooting 20% from the threes. I would think so. When they get him to make a 3, then he can go around a guy. But he must not have any faith in his threes anyway, because he's been doing all these get his head down, run over a guy, get a foul drives. And he's not a good driver. Somebody should.
He loves to fall, and it drives Jim Pete crazy too. Yes, he loves to fall, so he's out of the defensive play. And Jim Pete keeps saying he can't keep falling like this, and yes, he can.
No, every time he drives, he falls. Yes, he does. And by the way, the entire league of referees now has decided that if you get knocked to the floor, it's not a foul. If you touch a guy down at the other end, it is a foul. But if you get knocked on your ass, it's not a foul. They've all decided that. They've had a meeting and said, that guy whines too much. Let's never let him go to the free throw line unless we absolutely have to.
Yeah. And by the way, Rudy last night too was kind of asked, hey, what's going on? Why are you guys? And I think Rudy told the truth. And like you said, he hasn't been playing as well recently either. But he said, we felt pretty good about ourselves. It's been 2 months of winning, and you start to it feels like they've just relapsed into all the bad habits they had last year. Like, oh, we're good. We got off to a really good start. We're in first place, and now we can kind of coach. Like, no, you need to keep playing the same way with the same energy and everything.
Was this only the second loss at home? Loss at home? Because they really, this is the first time that somebody just came in and beat the hell out of them. There's nothing they can do. Now, the Pelicans played the night before, so everybody's saying, back to back. But the Pelicans, nobody played the fourth quarter because they were beating some team bloody. But they're pretty good. Unfortunately, they know, and we all know that Williamson will miss 40 games here pretty soon.
Right.
So there's no idea, no chance he'll play more than half the schedule. He doesn't do that.
Pat,
Anyway.
is it fair to classify this Vikings game as a must-lose game to the Lions?
Yes. The more I think about it, this is as close as you're going to get. If you bring back Cousins, this is as close as you're going to get to being able to draft a quarterback, because you're going to draft what? If you lose, you'll draft 10, 11, or 12, right? And there's what, 5 of them that you think can play? Mm-hmm. If Penix is the 5th, I'll take him right now. I love him. But he's had the injuries and everything. But I say this is your year to get a quarterback of the future. Because I think we can all agree it's not 5th round draft choice, 25-year-old Jaron Hall. I think we can all agree on that he is not the quarterback of your future. And Kellen Mond wasn't the quarterback of your future, but this draft, you have a chance to get a good quarterback. There's 5 of them, and I like Penix a lot. Everybody likes Williams and the North Carolina kid, and Bo Nix. A lot of people like him too. So this is your chance to draft a quarterback. Go down there, get your ass kicked Sunday, come home, start all over again, and don't bring back Kirk. Say we're gonna get Case Keenum in here as the backup, and we're gonna develop a quarterback and try to. I don't think you got to tear it down. A lot of people are saying you can either tear it down or bring back Kirk, but I don't believe in that. I think you can. I think you can keep your good players if you don't bring back Kirk. You gotta bring back Jefferson, for God's sakes. People, you got to give people a chance to see something when they go to the game. But goodbye, Kirk. Hello, some new quarterback, and get a backup and save yourself $30 million on your quarterback. You can do a lot of damage with $30 million extra. So goodbye.
I love the Keenum victory lap idea. Bring if you need a bridge quarterback. Yeah. Hey Case, come on back. You can wrap your career up here and wave to the fans. We can sell some Minneapolis Miracle merchandise for a year, and you can mentor the new quarterback.
When I draft 10th or 12th or trade up and get one of the good ones, I'm announcing he's my starting quarterback. I'm not messing around with like Christian Ponder, we started him in game 6 or something like that.
Because
I'm not messing
McNabb. I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, right. Yeah, could have had me. We were in the same shape. But
he actually ate worse than you at the time.
Anyway, that's my theory. I draft a quarterback and say, yes, he's our number 1 quarterback, and this is Kevin O'Connell's chance to prove he is a quarterback genius. And he's going to turn this kid into a quarterback. And just in case of injury or, something else, we're going to have a backup of some note here who can play a little bit. But I don't think if you're going to end up playing him anyway, why? We're going to start somebody else for the first 3 games. Just say this is their quarterback. Come on, get excited about him, and let him play in the exhibition games too. You morons. Let us see.
The joint scrimmages aren't enough for you? You got to
drive by on the preseason games.
Yes. Anyway,
so what is the game plan for Sunday? Just privately, if you're KO, do you call Mullins in and say, "Okay, Nick, here's the deal. We're not going to run much. We are going to have you cut this thing loose. I want you to throw for 500 yards.
Aggressive.
And just have him, 6 picks, 425 yards, maybe a touchdown or 2, but just basically launching the ball as much as he possibly wants. That's a great recipe for a fun last loss.
Well, that is, and you can, is Addison? What's Addison's health situation? Is he playing? try to pad the numbers for both those guys here. Let Jefferson get back in there, because the Lions' pass defense is terrible. But I think the Lions are going to. We're going to play with controlled fury on the Lions on Sunday. So the fact that that's a noon game, I think, pretty well eliminated the Vikings' chance of winning, don't you? Because the Lions can still think they're going to finish second. So.
The Lions are going to try and post a score, right, and then see what happens. Yeah.
Now, if you're trying to win the game, though, like when Detroit played here, and you threw for 400 yards, but you ran the ball 11 times, which means they just kept getting the ball back. You run the ball sometimes just so you can take 40 seconds off the clock, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to give it back to Detroit 2 minutes after you got it, because Detroit's got a hell of an offense. So I don't know. Don't try it, but don't put a lot of effort into winning. I don't think I'd want that. I want to draft a quarterback a lot more than I want to take my 5% chance to get into the playoffs.
Wouldn't you be curious though? Because I'm sure Kevin O'Connell has a vested interest in the future, but also he seems like the type of guy that's trying to get to that post-game locker room speech and deliver the rah-rah and win one on, finish the season on a high note. I wonder what the conversations are like between him and Kwesi behind the scenes this week. Because if you're Kwesi, there's no benefit to winning this game, right?
No, there's none at all. None at all. No, that's, I agree with you. I mean, this is, as I say, this is your chance to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Go get him. If you got to do the, last Les Steffel game deal and go in and tell about, get about 15 guys and tell them they're not playing. Are you 100%? No, I'm not. Okay, you're not playing either. Play half the practice squad. Your goal there should be to get beat. There's nothing to accomplish by winning. That's with this collection. But here's the other thing. Here's what the nation thinks. Here's what the rest of the world thinks of this roster right now, with Jefferson having missed half the season. 2 Pro Bowlers.
One of them's a long snapper.
And the snapper. Hunter and the snapper. Two Pro Bowlers. That tells you all you got to know. It's not a complete science of how good a football team is, but when you only get 2 Pro Bowlers and one of them is a long snapper, they're telling you your talent isn't very good here, boys.
Hawkinson, I mean, you're right, but Hawkinson probably gets there because he gets to 1,000 yards.
If he didn't
Jefferson, if not the injury.
Well, Kirk would have got there if he hadn't got hurt.
Kirk would have got there.
But nobody develops long snappers like the Vikings. Our history of long snappers.
Oh,
Mike Morris,
proud.
Colin Loeffler.
We saw in the Alabama game, those long snappers can be important.
Damn right.
Every time they can be important. Did you see that guy transferred, by the way, before he got dragged through the streets of Tuscaloosa by the enraged Alabama fans?
I'm fired. You're fired.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's like soccer. That poor guy in the World Cup who screwed up and they killed him.
They killed him. Escobar, the other Escobar. They killed that Escobar before they killed Pablo. I think Pablo was still alive when they killed that Escobar in a bar. He was. You guys ever see the great movie Buffalo '66?
I have not. No.
Oh, which is it's a Vincent Gallo movie. Christina Ricci's in it, but it's the theme is Scott Norwood. They call the guy Scott Wood, but Scott Wood missed the kick to cost him the Super Bowl, and they're saying it was 1966. So that's and he now owns a strip joint in Buffalo, and he basically, the fans come in and he taunts the fans and the whole thing. It's hysterical. It's Gallo's greatest satire ever. And Angelica Houston plays his mother, and she sits on a couch all day and watches a rerun of that Giants game, rooting for him to make the kick, and then they have the photos of their heroes all up there. They got one kid, they got a little tiny photo like this, and they got big pictures of OJ and Jack Kemp and all these old film. That's what we need here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. Buffalo 66. I recommend it highly.
Okay, Buffalo 66. I'm adding it to my stuff to watch when the
Now
snow
this
finally
is not
hits.
your bride is a dignified, happy person. She likes it. She likes a joyful life.
I should
Don't
watch it
watch
alone.
with her. Don't
Okay.
watch it with her.
Because I do have. So she won't watch horror movies. I love horror movies. So I have a list of. There's a list of when Jonna goes out of town or has plans, like movies that Phil watches without.
This is one to watch without her. She would. I tried to get my wife to watch it. She made about 4 minutes. So it's a disturbingly hilarious movie.
Okay, no, it's on my list for sure. So all right,
Have a good weekend. Judd's got 2 years of excitement waiting for the World Juniors to start. Man, he can't stay.
Can't wait.
He can't wait.
No,
You're gonna have to take 2 weeks off just to go to games every day. So
damn right.
Yep.
December
Pat, we'll talk.
26th.
Did we win this morning? Did we
No,
win?
we're playing this afternoon. We're playing at 12, I think.
We might win it, huh? We're playing
Yeah,
sweet.
we got a
We're
chance.
playing the home standers right though today, right? We're playing the home
No,
standers.
Finland. It's Finland, not Sweden.
Finland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it. Come on. All right, Pat. See ya.
All right. See you, Jets.
All right, Pat. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Pat's appearance presented in part by Zero Res. By the way, is your home clean following the holidays? Be honest. Could it use a deep clean? Do you really want to do it yourself? Probably not, right? That's where Zero Res comes in. With a 4.9 out of 5-star rating on Google, 17,000 reviews. Call Zero Res today and ask for the SKOR North special to get 3 rooms zero resified starting at just $119. That's 952-0-RES or zeroresminnesota.com and say you want the SKOR North special. Spell it forward or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.